we go. Good evening everyone and welcome to Sugar and Crumbs. My name is Tracey Mann from Tracey Mann Cakes and I'm here every Tuesday night at 6:30 to give you another demonstration or another cake to make. So tonight I'm going to have a go at cake painting. I say have a go, I actually teach it, so I'm not really having a go, I'm actually doing it properly. I've just realised I haven't switched one of my cameras around, Charlotte. I'm just looking at it. Let's turn this camera around. There we go. No, it didn't do it. Yes, it did. I was thinking that camera's facing the ceiling. That's not going to help us. We can't cake paint up there. We've done that bit now. There's always something technical. I usually forget to put my lights on, or I've got my cardigan on, or something's going on. So tonight's incident was we all had got to look at my ceiling. But anyway, we are now sorted. So Kelly isn't here. Everyone normally says, yeah, see, evening Kelly, Charlotte, or is it Charlotte? It's Charlotte tonight. So Kelly has just returned from a film set, so she's not in. So we have got Charlotte here tonight. Say hello, Charlotte.
Hello.
And she's still got her pyjamas on and refuses to come on screen, but I'm working on that one. Eventually you'll get to see what she looks like, won't you, Charlotte?
Oh yes.
So if you've got any comments or any questions you'd like to ask during the live tonight, then do please ask Charlotte. I'll give you Ask Charlotte hour. And she will let me know and I'll do everything I can to answer those questions for you. So I'm going to be here for an hour or so. So get yourself a cup of tea. I've got mine actually. I'm just going to take a quick slurp and off we go. So we're going to be doing a cake tonight. I'm going to show you some nice basic painting which you can do for this cake. Hope it turn out very pretty. That's the plan of action anyway. If you want to have a go at it, you'll be able to watch the video afterwards and go back and follow along. I do teach cocoa butter painting. That is my main daytime job, and I do now have, she says, changing the titles there, a new dedicated website connected with my online school, which it's up at the moment. So it's traceymanncakeschool.co.uk. So if you're feeling inspired by this and you want to have a go and have a little look at any of the cake painting projects that I teach online, that is where you need to go afterwards or during. If you're that excited about it, you can go and have a look while I'm live as well. And all the classes are on there. They're all pre-recorded. Some of them are live, but all of them, whether they're live or pre-recorded, you can watch over and over again. You're not just stuck having watched it once and that's it. So I do some classes where you can paint along live, and I do other classes that are pre-recorded that you can join in. So cake painting is the main thing that I teach, but I also teach royal icing, which I've had a massive group doing at the moment, and again, you're very welcome to join that at any point. The classes just run all the time, so if you suddenly think, oh, I'd really like to do that, then just join in at any point. Don't forget to like and share this evening so we can spread the word about these amazing demonstrations that we get here on Sugar and Crumbs. And with all that said, we're going to get started and start covering our cake. So tonight I have got, I'm looking at what I've got down here because I did it about an hour ago, so I had to remember. And actually, Charlotte, I've just realised I need a small pot of water and that large paintbrush that's over there. We're going to do a 6-inch round cake by 3 inches in height, which I've already prepped. So basically what I've done is I have already covered it in ganache, so I've put it in the fridge so it's set, and we're going to cover that with some sugar paste, and then we're going to emboss onto this cake and we're going to paint it. So you should be able to see that.
Would you like hot or cold water?
I'd like any water, Charlotte. It really doesn't matter. It does not have to be that specific, but thank you for asking. There you go. I should make you bring it over here, shouldn't I? Yeah, she's refusing.
Yes, thank you.
Right, okay, so we are going to get going, see how we go with everything. So if you are interested in cocoa butter painting, that's where you need to go for the address on there. Let's take that down now so we can see everything that's going on. And also you can see behind me, and I need to go that way. I have to go the opposite way to my camera, so I'm normally going the wrong way. You can see behind me, let's go that way, some of the cake painting projects that I teach as well. So again, just go and have a look. And if you think, oh, what am I doing? I can't paint, I can't draw, I can solve all of that for you. And hopefully I'm going to show you tonight exactly just how easy this is. And how pretty everything can be from doing cake painting. So let's get going. I'll turn the camera down to start with. So here is my cake. So that's what we've got tonight. Now what we're going to do, so this is my 6-inch by 3-inch high cake. It's actually a chocolate cake. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint it with some water provided by Charlotte. So we're just going to make it tacky so that the sugar paste has got something to stick to, because if we don't do that, then we can't, the sugar paste won't stick to it. I think I've spotted one of my students just gone past on there, Claire Morton. I'm sure she's just said hello.
She has.
Hello, Claire. Hope you're well. Come and bring that baby over for me to see when lockdown eases. Oh dear. We've got lots of people loving the Royal Icing course.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm really pleased with my Royal Icers. Not only are they doing an amazing job, but they're loving it as well. So that's great. So yeah, if you fancy learning Royal Icing online, I've got a lovely course for you on there, covering biscuits as well. So we're doing cookies and extension work and piping and all sorts of different things. So it's a lovely course, lovely big course. There you go. Lots of people enjoying it. Right, so all I've done now is I'm just literally just making this a little bit wet. There we go. Right, okay. Now, which camera should we stay on? We'll stay on this one for the moment. I've got some sugar paste that I have pre-dyed actually. It's a pale blue colour. I know it's a bit, I'm sure I did blue last week, but blue is my favourite colour, so it tends to come out on quite a regular basis. I'm just going to remove a little bit of it. I'm just going to keep that bit for the board. But, you know, I've got a bit of crumb there and I know exactly what's going to happen. The minute I start doing this, it's going to end up everywhere. So we're going to give this a bit of a knead to get it going. This is couture paste. I said before in the past, I really don't mind what I use, to be honest with you. I really don't mind. So whatever comes to hand. So this is fine, but I have dyed it blue. I can just tuck it under like that. Now, I haven't got my pink board tonight. That's deliberate because I'm doing cocoa butter tonight and it involves candles. I don't particularly want to cause any damage to my pink board. So that's why I haven't got that down this evening. Where's my icing sugar? There it is. So I do need a bit of icing sugar because it's going to stick to my tablecloth otherwise.
Bernadette has just asked you a question. She said, would you say that the Royal Icing course is for all levels or beginners or?
Royal Icing course is for everybody, so it's for absolutely everybody. I'm just going to move my camera slightly. So if you've never done Royal Icing before, and if you have or done Royal Icing before, I've actually got mixed abilities on this course. I've got total beginners and I've got people who've done the courses, done some Royal Icing before. But there are some beginners on here, so if anybody who's on here is a beginner that's doing Royal Icing, if you can tell them, that would be great, and then they will be convinced. Then it's not just coming from me, is it? So I'm going to just roll this out like so. So in order to get a circle, just do a quarter turn and then we just go again. So just keep going. I did actually put this in the microwave a little bit earlier because honestly it was so cold that the sugar paste was like a brick. I thought, I can't do this. I need to put it in the microwave so that it warms up a little bit so it's more pliable. If you ever need to warm your sugar paste up, it will not do it any harm to be in the microwave for like, you know, well, this amount for about 30 seconds. No more than that, but just enough to kind of get it going. Don't want to melt it, but sometimes it's, especially this time of year, it can be really rock hard and difficult to deal with, so I just find that helps massively. There you go. There's a few people up there saying that they've never done Royal Icing before.
Got so many Royal Icers on here.
I know, they are very good. They have done so well. They've all been scaring themselves. They're watching the end video today. Right, so I've rolled it out to about there. Now what I'm going to do next, where's my icing sugar? There we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of icing sugar down on the top here because it sometimes gets a bit sticky under the lights. And I'm going to take hold of my smoother. Now I've got one of these things, they're called smedgers, okay? So it's straight and then at the bottom there. I'm just going to go round on here and just smooth this down before we put it on the cake. So round and round and round in circles. I tend to find if you do this before it goes on the cake, then you've done a lot of the work in advance. So that's quite helpful. Saves you having to press hard on the cake and ruin your cake.
Somebody said, how do you know how much sort of paste to use to cover that size cake?
Well, there are various grids out there that you can get, but I mean, I've got more than I need here, I can tell you that now. But normally I just hold my cake over the top of my paste, and if I can see it, I've got the surface area across here, The side works out to be a little bit wider than the board, so as long as I can see it, then that should be enough. I know I've got more than enough here, so I'm not going to worry too much. But yeah, there are a few grids out there where you can just do it sort of like that. So I'm just going to pull that back, whoops, like so. Making crushing noises already. Pick this up and then just put that over the top like that. So I am not picking up my fingers under there like that. Oh, is Kelly on?
Kelly is on.
Kelly is.
But Kelly's managed to log on as Sugar and Crumbs.
I know
I'm
she
so
has.
Impressed. Text her.
Kelly's done that because she's got admin, because I had all the problems on Facebook, didn't I? Right, so we're going to go round and round with the edging thing first. Don't you start having a sibling conversation online. Okay. Why am I using icing sugar and not corn flour? I don't like corn flour. Corn flour reacts with marzipan, although I'm not using marzipan. If I am using marzipan, I can almost guarantee for sure that I will end up picking up the corn flour by accident. So I won't have it around. I'm going to change screens. Right, let's move this out of the way a little bit so you can see. There we go. They're all missing Kelly, look.
So rude.
She little devil. She'd be sat at home watching. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take this down to the bottom of the cake. So all we need to do is just work it down with the palm of our hand, not with our fingers. So we're just going to just pull that back a little bit. There we go. Like so. So we're just going to make our way down. Keep pulling it out as you go. Yeah, it's Charlotte tonight. Although Kelly is on. She'll be loving this.
I know.
Oh, Charlotte.
Kelly says she'll hopefully be back next week. I'm gonna have a lovely sleep when I get home from work.
Oh dear. Yeah, we don't want Kelly down here when she's been on a film set, do we, Charlotte?
No, she didn't.
No, she's tired. Although you've worked, it's not like you're not working, is it?
So some of us are working for the NHS.
Right, there we go. So we've gone all the way around there like that. There you go. We love you, Charlotte. Gosh,
Oh.
honestly, there's the sibling rivalry between these two. So I'm just going to take my smedger and I'm just going to use that just to bring my sugar paste into the board. This is great, this bit of kit. Okay, you see what it's doing there? It gets a nice sharp edge going against your cake there, look. All right. So there we go. Let's pull that down a little bit. Might be able to get away with doing this in one, that would be good. Don't normally get away with it, but I think I'm going to do it tonight. So what we can do, let's go around and tidy this up. So round we go. Yeah, look at that. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to cover the board as well at the same time, purely because it's all gone over successfully, so I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is just take my paintbrush, I'm just going to run it underneath this board like so. I would have done this separately, but it seems to have settled, so let's just do it. So I'm going to run my paintbrush under here, make my board a little bit wet. Nearly there, I think so. Yeah, okay, and then we'll just use the smedger. Charlotte, they're desperate to see you.
I'm sitting here. I've got no makeup on, in my pyjamas.
Right. Okay. So we're just going to go round like so. That's going to stick to the board.
Is that smoother? That's the Edges brand, isn't it?
This is smedger.
Smedgers.
Smedger. It's so it must be the Edges brown, but this is the smedger one, which I've just managed to knock. Hold on a minute, it's because I'm not concentrating. So yeah, this is the smedger. Right, so we're going to go round like so. So this is going to do my board and the sides all in one go, which I had not planned tonight because I normally do everything separately, but as it's behaving, let's just do it, shall we? Get it done in one go. Right, okay, let's take that off. Now I'm going to just lift. It did, didn't it? I know, it's a miracle. So I'm just going to lift this up for a second. I'll just take my turntable out. I'll just go back a little bit so you can see. I'm just going to take hold of my plastic side scraper. I've got a particularly big one here, and I'm just going to cut the sugar paste off. Let's turn it round as we go, like so. So that's going to do all the board and everything. So I've got no join mark, so that's quite handy, isn't it? Because you know, sometimes if you try and join your sugar paste together on a board, I'm doing this very awkwardly. I would normally have it on a turntable, but I'm trying to do this on camera, so it's making me a bit slow on this. But never mind, we're getting there. Right, nearly there, and then we'll just tidy it up a bit. Just keep putting it down to turn it. Oh my goodness, right and round. Okay, let's bring that back down, back on the turntable. Thank you very much. Now what I'm going to do is just lift my camera up a tiny little bit. We're going on a ride. Here we go. Down a tiny bit more. There we go. Right. Okay. Now we're sorted. So we're going to take hold of this smedger again, and we're just going to go round the outside edge, like so. Just flatten it off, tidy it all up, make it look lovely. Can't beat a board covered. You've got to have a board covered to have a really nice professional cake. Now, just sharpen the top edges up. What you can do is put one there. I'm trying to again work out one there and one there. How about that? That's just about giving me a bit of an angle there. And you can use two of them, which helps to get your edges a little bit straighter. It's not going to make it perfect, but it will help you out a little bit. Around this side so you might be able to see a bit better. No, my hand is definitely in the way. Okay, let me go under the other camera for a second, see if I can show you a bit better. Hold on, let's switch cameras. So what I've done is I've got one there and one there. That's better. And then all I do is just go backwards and forwards like that, and that just straightens the edges up a little bit. So if you want it less chamfered, which basically means it sort of rolls over the top, this works quite well actually. So just work your way round. It's also flying off the turntable just to keep me going. Okay. So I'll just work our way round a little bit.
Are there any sort of top tips for avoiding air bubbles and
what, on sugar paste?
Or anything that could go wrong if you're, you know, when you're flattening it? Because sometimes, well, when I've done it in the past, I'm not saying that I'm a pro.
Is this a question that you're asking me, Charlotte?
Yeah, but I think everyone else would like to know as well.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you get bumps in it and it doesn't always look as smooth as it could. Are there any top tips?
Well, you then normally say, "Oh, well, that'll do," don't you?
Well, I do, yeah.
We're missing the point here.
I know that the creatives on here aren't going to say, "Oh, that'll do." So we need answers.
Okay, so when you do, to avoid air bubbles as best you can, number one, get yourself a scriber. All right, everyone needs a scriber in their life, especially anyone on my Royal Icing course. You definitely need a scriber. Always do the top first, so get all the air out from the top, then work down. Okay, don't go down on one side, just go down and go round and round and round until you hit the bottom. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. There we go. I am happy with that. That is fine. I'm going to leave it on this top camera because what we're going to do, we're going to emboss with those letters. There they are. So I've got a set of letters in tonight. I've made up too much sugar paste, Charlotte, but that doesn't matter. I can find that. You'll use that for something else. Right, let's move this out of the way so we don't need that either. So I've got these letters in tonight. I think they're sweet stamps. This is my set. I'm sure some of you will have seen that before. There you go. You can see some are missing because I've already taken them out. I'm going to use them tonight. So we're going to emboss the cake with lots of patterns and things, and then we're going to paint it. So that's the plan. So where are we on this camera? There we go. Okay, so I have got my letters, so I'm going to put them on. I'm going to write the word "with love," and then I'm not going to press them in until I've got them in the right place. But you need to do this while this is still soft. So if you are going to attempt anything like this, I am trying to line this up with the camera in my face, so it's not very helpful. I'll just move things around a little bit. I'll just take it out from under there for a second so I can actually see it. Okay. No, so they are quite equal. Let's go up a little bit. So I'm off camera just a second because I can't actually see what I'm doing. And if it's off centre, that'll annoy me, you see. There we go. That's a little bit better. So before you do this, put them on like so. It works well if all the letters are you're not repeating any of the letters. So yeah, I'm all right because I don't have more than 2 letters the same, so that's fine. So let's have a little look. Is that in the middle? That looks fine to me, or what I want anyway. So then what I'm going to do is just press them down very lightly. I'm not actually going to press them in too far. Let's just see if I've got that in okay. There we go. Just, you can probably just about see it on camera. Put these away as you go, because otherwise you end up losing them. That's a very good point. Let me bring that back in. Right, let's press this down again. Okay, pick that one up. That one's okay. Yeah, don't take them off this grid, will you? Okay. Try and get them to line up a bit. I could have done this in advance, but I decided not. I would. Well, I didn't decide not. Ran out of time, didn't I, Charlotte?
You've been busy.
I've been busy. Busy girl.
Lots of people have these, the letter sets.
Yeah, they do. They're very
good.
popular. They've been around a long time. I've had mine ages, and I didn't think to even use it until end of last year, and then I suddenly thought, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's give this a go. So just press this down. So if you're not sure about writing or anything on cakes, this is quite handy. I'm putting them back into my grid as I go, because otherwise they get lost. So there we go. So you don't need to be an expert in writing to use something like this. Tip that one up a little bit. But you do need to make sure you've got it in the right place before before you press it down. I need a what? Presentation box.
So you don't lose them.
Oh, I know. I'm terrified of this thing, because if it tips over, the whole lot fall out. So that's the only downside with this thing. Right, there we go. So we've got that in. I'm going to move this out of the way, because again, I don't want to lose it. Where shall I put it, Charlotte? Well, no, I'll put it over there, because I will need it again later. Okay, so we've done that bit. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use 2 different cutters, and I'm going to press them down. So I just sat down now and I can see mistakes or things I need to tidy up. So I'm going to do use these 2 cutters here. This is an FMM cutter. Someone's going to ask me what it is. I think it's just called a petal cutter. And then this one here, which is a little mini daisy cutter. It's part of a set of 4. This is a PME cutter, so it's those 2 there. Do I do writing on the course for Royal Icing? Yes, we do. I've got sheets and sheets of practice, and they love it. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to imprint onto the cake. So where should we put this one? We'll put this one about there. So I'm just going to press this down and just wobble it around a little bit until we've got a mark, which we have. See, that stands out quite a lot. And then I'll put another one. Where should we put another one, Charlotte? Put another one there. I'm going to put some random ones going around the cake side. So put one there. This will make more sense. And then we'll do some on the side. Let's move Miss Smedger out of the way, otherwise you can't see what's going on. Yeah, you'll find this, the sweet stamps Sugar and Crumbs have got on their website. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to use my smedger behind this to stop me moving it. So I'm just going to rock it.
How far into the sugar paste do you pierce it? Is it like...
Well, just so you can see it, I'm going a little bit too far actually in places. It's just so you can see it. Okay, I've pressed a little bit further in because I'm on camera and I want you to be able to see it. Otherwise, you're going to struggle to see it. Okay, so I'm just marking it basically. And then we'll do... Now, as with anything, so I've talked about this before with novelty cakes. This takes time to come together, but when it does get to that final stage, it's lovely. So you're going to have to bear with this a little bit, because it will go through what I call a horror stage, where you'll look at it and think, what is she doing? But it will improve. That's what... Big smile on her face as she says that. she says, don't make me laugh, Charlotte. Yeah, it will go through a horror stage, but anyway, there we go. Right, we're going to use this little one as well, and all we're going to do is we're just going to put some little... I should put my smedger away, didn't I? I'm just going to, again, just mark around each flower. So we'll just do them in kind of groups of 3, I guess. There we go. You can see that there coming up on there. That's a bit better, isn't it? All right, so you can see what I've done. So I'm just pressing it in. I'm not plunging it or doing anything drastic. I'm literally just embossing it. It's also, do you know this? I'm having a job to hold on to it tonight. There we go. Push it against like that. And then we'll do another one. You can do them in different formats as well. You know, you don't have to do them all the same. Let's do a different one this time, so that we've got something a bit different going on. Okay, and then we'll do another one kind of there, like so. And then we're nearly there. Another one there. Okay, like that. And then on the top, where are we? So that's the with love there. So we'll put one there, one there, one there. And then on the other side, if I bring that forward a little bit, we'll do one there, one there, and one there. So hopefully that makes some sense, but we'll find out when we get going, won't we, whether it makes sense or not. It doesn't matter if it does. We can put some on, oops, we can put some on the board as well if we want, or you can add my fingernails to it. That's fine. Oh dear, there we go, it's fine. Okay, I'm just going to mark that one on a little bit further because that one hasn't marked in enough. I've got my cutters anyway, so if I need to go back and do anything again, then I can do that, so that's all right. Just grab my drink. Okay, so I think we decided, Charlotte, to pipe that top bit, didn't we?
We did.
So we're going to pipe the word with love with royal icing, which we're going to do. We're going to do it in white, I think. Did we say white?
We said white.
Did we say white? Is that the colour you want?
No pressure.
Are you happy with that colour, madam?
I suddenly don't know.
You're suddenly doubting yourself. Oh, there's the scissors, because that's normally what I can't find. So we're just going to pop. I'm going to use, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put an adapter in this nozzle in case I change my mind, decide to do a different nozzle. Can you see if the other half of the nozzles are in the on the draining board? The other bit, the smaller bit. Can you see any? No?
No, they're normally in a little pot, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not on that side.
Have a look over there. No, if not, don't worry, I'll just put it straight in. No, oh, I need to put one because I've cut this too short now.
What size are you looking for?
Yeah, that's it, that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect.
I'll dry it
Wonderful.
off for you.
Okay.
100%.
Right, so what we're going to do, as I'm off screen at the moment, I'm going to put that on like so, and I'll pop that nozzle on there. We're just waiting for Charlotte to bring us the other bit. Can't get the staff, can you, Kelly? She'll be at home watching you.
I know. Crumbling under the pressure.
Oh, there is a lovely cat in the patchwork cutter kit, actually. That is on my list to do because it is a really nice cutter. No, not that bit, the plastic white bit. Yeah, not the nozzle.
I'll drop that.
The plastic bit. You found
Well,
it?
I was doing really well then.
You were doing really well then. Slight technical hitch here, wasn't it, Charlotte?
You really can't get the stuff.
You really can't get the staff now.
I'll take that.
Can you? Oh, you're right. Can you pass it over?
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Okay. Right, so what we're going to do, we've got the nozzle on and then we're going to just tighten it up like so. And we're going to pop some royal icing in. So we've got royal icing here made from Whipping It Up. So Whipping It Up is Carol's product, which is the icing sugar containing albumin powder or egg white, which you then mix with water. I've made mine in advance tonight because I want to concentrate on the cake painting tonight, so I'm running ahead of myself a little bit. So there we go. So just put a little bit into the bag. So Whipping It Up, Carol does in many different flavours, and you just add water to it. So if you have a full bag, which is 500 grams, you add 70 grams of water. If you have half a bag, then it's 35 grams. It's as simple as that. Right, let's go on to the other camera because we're going to have to pipe this over here. I'm going to have to be very marginally off camera so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Right, so we're going to just do the word up here first, then we're going to start cake painting. So we're just going to follow this around. All my royal ices will be busy chattering away in the background, knowing what I'm saying to myself. So, and we're just going to follow the word, like so, before we get to the top. Breathing is optional.
What nozzle is that you're using? Is
Nozzle number 2.
that PME number 2?
Yep. Okay, and we'll come down here. There we go.
I think the white looks quite nice actually.
Oh, you're pleased with yourself now,
Well,
are
I can
you?
see it coming up on my phone. Right.
The panic is over, Charlotte.
Ah, no pressure.
I know. I was one of those like 15 second before we go live decisions, wasn't it?
Shall we do it in white?
Should we do it in white or no? So I've picked it up there. That's okay. We'll just go back and press it down like that. This is where I always talk about my beloved scriber. So if you need to remove anything, you just get your little scriber out, get rid of it. And then we're going to cross the T there. Might help if I put it down. There we go. I'm piping at a very odd angle. You can see it. Okay, that's fine. As long as you can all see.
Donna's been doing loads of writing practice. Yes,
Good.
That's what we want to hear.
That's what we want to hear.
You'll be telling Mum how to do it.
Yeah, that's what we want. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to follow the other line down with that. I've changed my mind on that one. Hold on. Because it's quite a big space, you can either follow the top side of it or the bottom side. There we go, that's better. Okay, we've got that bit done. So if anybody is thinking I can't pipe on cakes with words, well, you don't need to worry because this will do it all for you.
Nikki says once you use a number 1 nozzle for the first time, the number 2 seems huge after that.
Yeah. And the buttercream nozzles are bizarre. And when you go back to using Wilton nozzles, they are huge. It's really odd. Okay, right, now where are we? We're going to do this one. So, round we go. And then bring it up there. Like so. Again, just use your scriber if it's doing things you don't want it to do. I'm just being fussy. Aren't I, Charlotte?
You are indeed.
I'll drive them all crazy. Right. There we go. And then the last one. Then we'll keep our icing in our bags. We're going to use that later on around the edge. There we go.
Someone's asked, how do you stop the lines from going wobbly? Is there any sort of a small tip or any small like insider tips you have?
Ooh. Small insider tips. Yeah. Oh, get your icing right. If you get your icing right, you're on to a winner. Okay, that's the most important thing you do. Get your recipe right and you'll find it much easier. Right, okay, let's start looking at cake painting. So we're going to go to the other camera here. So cake painting is what I teach predominantly online at my new cake school, which you're very welcome to go and have a look at later on. So we use cocoa butter. So this is cocoa butter itself. Now the reason we use this product is because it's like acrylic and it builds layers, which means it's much easier to do than painting with alcohol and dusting colour or gel or anything else like this. You can also paint with chocolate with this. So it's a really, really good alternative, or certainly works brilliantly for painting than using any of those other methods, and it's the one I use all the time. Now because it's a solid product you need to melt it, so in order to melt it we need a system. So you can do it in a couple of ways. You can do it with boiling water in a glass jar with either a metal paint palette over the top, or by using a plate, not your best china, but a plate of some description. And or you can use what I'm using here, which is a chrome food warmer. I'm going to just change this. Do you know, I should have done this before I got live, Charlotte, because I bet it's welded itself in.
Oh.
There we go, that's fine. So tea light. So this has a little tea light that sits in the middle. I needed to change that. So there we go, pop that in. It's not for it's not specifically for cocoa butter painting. It is called a chrome food warmer. I don't sell them, Carol doesn't sell them, but you can get them on Amazon, so you just need to put that in. It isn't essential, but I just find it's easier. It stops me having to leap up and down, keep boiling the kettle, because obviously once the water gets cold then you're going to need to reboil that kettle and put more hot water in to keep the cocoa butter moving, because you'll find it will start to set. So that's the reason why we need a heat source on here as well. Okay, so we are going matches. What did I do with the matches, Charlotte? Did I put them in that container? I've had them this afternoon. There they are. See, I'm more organised than you can believe, haven't you?
Somebody's asked you what's kind of the ideal recipe for your royal icing, because obviously if you're using whipping it up, it's add your water, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But if you're using the Merry White,
there's loads and loads of recipes online. Just pop them into Google and you'll find them. They'll come up. But say whipping it up. Oh, it didn't take. Whipping it up is I find really good. Oh, there we go. Let's try again. There we go. Right. So we've got that lit. So that's our heat source. And then we're going to pop this on here. So this will now get really, really hot. So you will need to be careful because otherwise you'll end up burning yourself. We'll bring that in there like so. We'll swap these round in a second. So whilst that's getting hot, we're going to put some cocoa butter onto the metal paint palette. I'm going to have to push it down. Mine tends to sort of get bent in various different places for me cleaning it. So I'm just going to push it down. I usually put 2 lots of cocoa butter on. One so I keep my colours, my brighter colours on one side and my darker colours on the other side. Talking of which, I'm just going to move my cake out of the way because I can literally guarantee I'm going to end up covering it. So we're going to put some white in here. So we're using dusting colours. It doesn't matter what the brand is. The colours are generic. I tend to use quite straightforward colours. Don't tend to get too complicated with my colours. For this particular project, I have got white, I've got red. Let's put the red over here because it's a darker colour. So a little bit of red. You can use colour splash powders. You cannot use colour splash gel. All right, so don't use gels with this. It has to be dust. Okay, so there's petal blue. That's one of my favourite colours because it's blue. Now I've got a couple of greens tonight. I've got moss green, so I'm going to pop that over there. And I have got spring green, which is a nice sort of limey green colour. So let's pop that over there, out of the way. So 2 quite contrasting green colours. I've got the colour rose, which is quite a nice sort of pinky colour. So I'll pop that one on as well. There we go. And orange as well. Why did I pick up orange? I don't know. Oh yes, I see. Right, let's put that over there. So this one is called Sunset Orange. They're all very bright, so you need a lot of white when you do cake painting to tone them all down a bit because they are really mega bright. So that's it set up. Now in the time I've been doing that, you can see the cocoa butter has started to melt. So let me just grab some kitchen roll because you're going to need that. Okay, so you will need kitchen roll to do this. Now when I teach my courses, I have paintbrushes with numbers on them, which helps me to identify what you are doing, because I can then say to you, and now pick up brush number 1, now pick up brush number 2. So they're all numbered on here. 0, 0, 3. What have I got here? This is probably number 2. No, it's 3. 1 and 2. There we go. Let's get rid of that one. So 0, 1, 2 and 3 are the main ones that I use. There we go. I have been painting this afternoon, so we'll need to give them a quick clean up, and I'll show you how to do that because you can see, look, brush 3 is not moving at all. So brush 2 is what I'm going to do the majority of the paint with. So to check, I've got no colour in there at all. I normally just dip it in there and just twist it on my paper, my kitchen roll, just to make sure it's clear, which it is. And that's how I clean my brush as I go along. When I've finished, I can take it to the sink, use hot water and washing up liquid and do it that way and clean it that way. Right, okay, so that's all ready and set up. So let's get painting. So we're going to paint the whole thing. Let's bring this in. Where should we do this? Over the top first. Let's do over the top that way first so you can see. Bring that in like that. I'll bring the cocoa butter in like so. There you go. That's quite good, isn't it? So we'll start with the flower itself. We're just going to go round and we're going to paint all the flowers pink first. So we're going to put our brush into the cocoa butter. We're going to pick up some white. Then we're going to pick up a little bit of the rose so we get a nice pale pink colour. So you can see the contrast between the two is massive. You don't want this very bright colour. We do, but later on, not yet. So you'll be actually find as well that the colour always looks darker when you get it onto the cake. So go a bit paler in front of you like this. So all we're doing is just taking the cocoa butter and just mixing it with the dust. Simple as straightforward as that. And then we're going to start painting. So all we're going to do is we're going to go round and we're going to paint all of these. Can you see that? Yes, you can. We're going to paint all of the little flowers pink. And then we'll move on to the next thing. So when you put cocoa butter on, it should apply with some good coverage. Shouldn't be too streaky. It's a tiny bit, but nothing too drastic. If it is, you need to adjust your consistencies by adding in more dust. So dusting colours. If you've got lots of dust in it, you get a thicker paint. If you've got lots of cocoa butter in it, you get a much thinner paint. So if you're getting sort of that kind of coverage, you need to put more dust in it. That's what I'm doing now. I'm sat at a very strange angle doing this. Right, okay. Let me just turn this heater off. I feel myself going up in flames, that is, Charlotte. Okay, so there we go. So you could just paint it once, but obviously we're not going to do that. The first coat always takes the longest, so just bear with me while we whiz round this cake and get it covered. I'm not looking at any comments at the moment, Charlotte, so you're in charge.
Yeah, that's all right.
You're okay with that, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all right then. So that's what we're going to do there. So that's the first one done. There you go. So let's turn this around. Let's get it onto screen. There we go. That's better. And then we'll do this one. So I haven't done too many, otherwise we'll be here till Christmas. But I've done enough to give you a decent idea of how to do this and what sort of effects you can get. And say, just remember, as you go through this process, it always looks a bit ropey to start with, but then suddenly it all comes together at the end every time without fail. And I've done a test run on this afternoon, so it definitely is the last little bit that kind of tips it over the edge into something very pretty. That's what we want. So that's the plan anyway. So the idea with this is to, if anybody's thinking about trying cake painting, I'm trying to make something really nice and simple so that you can just think, oh, I could do that. I think you'll all get to the end of this and go, yeah, that's fine, I can do this. This isn't too complicated. And that's the idea. So let's move that across.
What stamp was it that you used tonight?
It's an FMM petal cutter. I'm sure Carol's probably got one on her site somewhere. Okay. Right, let's make sure we're on screen still, which we are. So
someone said, is it better to do the writing first because she's a bit nervous that she'd catch it?
Yeah, that's what I've done my writing first. It doesn't matter, to be honest. The only reason I've done it first is just to kind of get it out of the way so I can concentrate on the painting. So you can leave your writing till last if you want to. That's fine. Doesn't matter. If that's what you want to do. That's absolutely fine. There's no rules with this. You're going to see though how this cocoa butter's built up and the fact that we go round and do all the pink flowers first. So we go round the cake doing all the same thing all the way round. This is the biggest thing that we've got to do. This is the bit that takes the time because it's quite a lot to cover. Once we've done this bit, it speeds up massively. There we go. So you can see already that's where we are. Okay, let's go around a bit further. On to the next one. I'm going to move my chair in a bit actually so I can get as close as I can with this for you. So just follow the shape. So I'm not making any of this up, it's all there for me. I've just got to literally follow it. So it's quite pale at the moment, but there's enough contrast there that it's showing up against the blue, which is what we want. I've got to mix a little bit more up.
Is it just a normal paint palette that you use, or is that part of you were saying about using the...
This is a metal paint palette.
Yeah.
It's not a plastic paint. If you put plastic over a candle, you're going to melt it. So you do need a metal one for this, okay? We've got lots of equipment lists with the courses that will help you to make sure you've got the right setup from the word go. Because if you're set up right, then it's quite a low cost activity this, because once you've got your cocoa butter it lasts ages, and once you've got your dusting colours they will go on and on and on. All you need is a bit of time, so you'll find you'll be able to do quite a lot with cocoa butter painting. And I do have a beginner's course, so if anybody's thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind having a go at this, and once you've kind of given this a go, maybe think, well, actually I can do this, there is a beginner's cocoa butter course, which again, quite a few people on here have done. It runs all the time, and it's 4 little projects. And once you've done them all, you get a nice certificate at the end of it. So it's very achievable. They're a lovely group as well. And they've all done really, really well on there. And they've surprised themselves actually. And lots of people, you know, they go to school, they do art, they leave school, and then they don't pick up any art stuff for years and years and years. So just the thought of even sometimes picking up a paintbrush can be a lot to think about. And then they suddenly do it and go, oh, actually, this is okay. I like this. It's very relaxing painting. Unless you're painting live, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a whole new ball game.
Now, Meg has said, I can see a new cake board design here. Now, is Meg the person who paints the cake boards?
Meg's, I'm sure I showed you what she did the other day.
So that rings a bell.
Yeah.
If it is Meg who paints the cake boards, they look brilliant.
Yeah. And now we're going to wait and see what you're going to do.
No pressure.
No pressure. So, yeah.
What kind of, so is that the blue that you've used for the sugar paste, is that a blue you've mixed or is that a pre-pack?
Right, so the blue I've used on this cake was actually Renshaw's Baby Blue, which I seem to have masses of because I'm a big fan of blue. But I did mix some white couture into it because it was just too blue. Everything needs toning down a bit, so it has been changed. There we go.
Someone has asked, they've told me that they finished their beginners.
Lovely.
So how do they get their certificate?
Right. I've got a list on the site of that tells you if you have finished your certificate, or finished your 4, can you write your name? I am actually doing them all tomorrow because I had to get some more printed because I had so many people finish the course that I had to go out and get some more printed, and they came yesterday. So I'm back on certificates tomorrow. So anyone who's waiting, who's tagged themselves in that post, I will be doing it tomorrow, don't worry. Well, I ran out of certificates, which is a good sign, isn't it? That everybody's enjoyed themselves and had a good time on the course. So yeah, that is what you get. So don't worry, I don't forget anybody. I just ran out of certificates because they're all so busy. Right, so this is the last of the pink flowers going on here. Okay, so now these will all start to dry and they will take approximately 1 to 2 minutes to dry, something along those lines. So, but we're not going to wait and hover and then continue. What we're going to do is move on. So I'm going to clean my brush. So I'm going to dip it in the cocoa butter and just wipe it on the kitchen roll until there's no more pink left in it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mix up Petal Blue. So I'm just going to move this over. Oh gosh, that's hot. I need to be careful. Very hot. Move that there for a second so you can see what's going on. Hold on. Da, da, da. Right, so we're going to dip that in the cocoa butter, pick up some Petal Blue, which we'll put there. I'm being careful because there's little bits of red there as well. Grab some white and we're going to lighten it up. So we're going to make this a light blue colour. There you go. So make sure you put in plenty of white so you get a nice, you don't want it too blue, well not at this stage anyway. Okay.
Mandy's just saying how relaxing this is.
Very relaxing. Everybody needs to be cake painting, it's just brilliant. Okay, we're going to bring this back in again. I'm not going to go on the overhead camera because I think I can get away with it over here, which I can. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint the little flowers here blue. Actually I might need to make it a bit stronger to make them stand out a bit.
Someone's asked, would you be able to use luster dusts?
Yep. What I find with the luster dusts, you should just use more of them. The cocoa butter really grabs the luster dusts, I find, so you just tend to go through them a bit more than you would do the matte colours. There we go. So we're just going to go around now. I'm just going to paint these like, I suppose they're forget-me-nots little things, aren't they? So we'll just paint those blue. Do you know what? I was meant to do some of these yellow, Charlotte, I've just realised. That's why I put the yellow down.
You have to do some of the little ones yellow.
No, what I'll do is I'll just do a couple of extras on there somewhere. But that's why I put yellow and orange down. I just looked at the colours and went, oh dear. Never mind. Okay, so we're going to paint some of the other ones now down here. So again, we're not having to be too precise about this. Don't forget I'm only on for about, well, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I will get the whole thing done, including covering within that time. So this isn't something it's going to take forever. Okay, let's dip that in there again. Someone's just had their delivery today, Charlotte, I'm reading.
Oh, love it.
Of the little cupcake. I've got to do a very nice online course called Tea and Biscuits Cupcakes. Again, it's on the Cake School, and it is absolutely lovely, and there's a little mould set that you can get that's with it as well, which you'll find on the main site. We have 2 websites. We have tracyscakes.co.uk, and that's where all our equipment is, but all our teaching is on Tracey Mann Cake School. So you go over there and sign up for your class, and then you can nip back to the other site and get any equipment that you need if you're struggling with anything. And there is a class at the moment that's on offer. It's called Tea and Biscuits Toppers. It's £10 to join the class, and it's pre-recorded, which means you can watch it as many times as you like. And it's really lovely, cute. They look like afternoon tea cupcakes. They're really lovely to do. So if anybody enjoys doing cupcake toppers, then this will be the class for you. So pop over and have a look. Go into not the Facebook Live section, the first section of the teaching school, and you'll find it in there.
So someone's asked, are the paintbrushes you use, are they normal art paintbrushes or are they specific ones for cakes?
They're normal art paintbrushes, however, they are only used on cakes. So I'm not sort of dipping them in acrylic at the weekends and then using them for cakes. So I'm only using them for my cocoa butter painting and nothing else. And that's what I recommend you do with all your brushes. All my brushes have got specific jobs. So I've got ones for sugar flowers, ones for cocoa butter painting, and they do not get muddled up. Otherwise, yeah, you get all sorts of difficulties. So with my brushes, to be honest, I've got a set of 4 or 5 actually, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Those are my main brushes that I teach with. We've got a couple of other ones as well. There's a fan brush and a flat brush. We've got another brush coming soon as well. And we do use these for different jobs, so it depends what we're doing as to which brush we need. But these main 4 are the ones that I use most of the time, and I'm still using brush 2 at the moment. I haven't switched. So this is the one. This is the one I can't normally tell what it is because I've worn the number off. Right, okay, so let's go and finish the top bit up there as well. Yeah, I was meant to do some yellow ones as well, I forgot. Actually, it doesn't matter, to be honest. It'll be fine. Let's see how we do for time. If we get time, I might do one. Or space, actually. Got carried away, Charlotte.
It's all right, it looks lovely.
Thank you, dear. That's all right. Well, you're sat next to me, so there you go. Right, so that's all of the blossoms now painted blue. Like so. Right, okay, we could leave it like that, but this is me and we're not going to do that. We're going to take this a lot further than this. So what we're going to do now is clean our brush up again. So we're just going to get rid of any cocoa butter that is blue that's on here. Get rid of all that because we don't want any blue going into the mix, otherwise we'll end up with a very strange colour. So we'll get rid of all of that. And then what we're going to do, we'll do the pink next, I think, again, then we'll go back and do the other. Is this dry? Yes, it is. So if we touch this, it's now dry, just about, yeah. So what we'll do is we're going to dip this into the cocoa butter, pick up some rose colour again, and we're just going to mix this on the edge so we get a darker colour. So if you mix them side by side, I go onto the other camera for a second, I'll just have to stand up to do that. There we go. If you mix them side by side, then you can actually see a comparison. If you cover up what you've already done, you can't see it changing, and you do need, if you're trying to do something that's contrasting, you do need to leave the original colour on. All right, so that's what we're doing here. So we're going for something a bit contrasting.
No pressure.
No pressure, but...
Are you using silver balls on this cake?
Who's asked that?
Mandy.
Well,
the people want to know. She's got a lot of likes on that comment.
Do you know what? I I have got them out actually. Yeah, they're here. I put them there thinking I might have to. Yeah, I know. They come out on every cake I use. It's terrible, isn't it? But even actually commercially, I use them on absolutely everything. I know, it's terrible. Right, okay, let's go. I'm going to bring this across.
Everyone was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, the silver balls will be out, of course. Why not? Okay. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create a little bit of shading on this. So I'm going to just take hold of my paintbrush number 2. I'm just going to tap a little bit of colour just going around the middle like so. I'm going to get hold of a dry brush and I'm just going to pull this back. Okay, like so. All right, let's just do that again just to reinforce it a little bit. So we'll just bring that back, just shade it out like so. Okay, we'll just leave that to dry like that. The queen of silver balls, that's me. Right, let's do this one. And again, so we're just going to tap the colour going all the way around. And then I'm getting a reputation for those silver balls. I think, to be honest, every single live I've done this year, I've put them on a cake. I don't think
Tracey Mann cake, and that's got silver balls on it.
I don't think one has escaped that's not had one on yet. So
well, genuinely, I'm doing a look around the room, and excluding the painted cakes, every single other cake has got silver balls.
I know.
on it,
I'm
so.
thinking of every demo, Charlotte, that I've done though. I think honestly, apart from one chocolate one, I think they've all had it on them. There we go. So there's that one there. Right. I'm now going across to the other camera. Let me just bear with me a second. There we go. Right. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we'll do the ones on the side. So again, hopefully you can see. So we're just going to tap the colour going around the middle like that. It does get a bit messy, but that doesn't matter. Messy is fine. And then we're just going to pull the colour through like that. Okay, move on to the next one. Round we go again. What's the matter? You're laughing.
Mandy said your website should be traceymancakesilverballs.com.
I know. So
spot on.
Honestly, you're making Charlotte laugh now. When she bursts out laughing, I know it's going to be something I laugh at because we've got the same sense of humour, you see. So this is the problem. It's a bit of glitz, isn't it? Although I don't think this cake is particularly glitzy, but I think we'll try and fit some silver balls in just so I'm getting my signature look in there. Okay.
Does Tracey have shares in the silver ball?
Not yet, but I need to, clearly. And I have to say, they've bought them as well, so they're buying into this.
We all love the silver balls.
Yeah.
Add a bit of something to the cake.
That's right. Absolutely. They're all buying into it, Charlotte. They say, oh, yes, I'm the queen of silver balls. I know who's bought silver balls from me. Don't give me any of that. I know who you are. Right, let's get in a bit more paint. It's running out of paint.
The effect looks really nice on the flower.
So far, so good. We've not finished yet. There's more to go yet. Okay. Right, and then round this one. And then again, just pull that out. Okay, so while we've been doing all of that on the pink flowers, the blue ones will have dried off. So we're going to go back to those. So again, we've got to clean our brush up. So we dip it in the cocoa butter. Let's bring this back over again. Dip it in the cocoa butter and just clean your brush because you don't want to mix the pink in with the blue. You could have many sets of brushes if you want. You don't have to do it my way, but this is the way I normally do it. There we go, like so. All right, so let's get rid of this brush here. It's in my way. So we're going to go for a stronger version of the blue now. So I'm just going to add a bit more blue dust to the original mix, just like I did with the pink. I know you can't quite see it at the minute, but there we go. Right, so what we're going to do now is I'm just literally just going to dab the middle of this. Where's my other brush gone? And then I'm just going to just smudge it. So I'm not going to do anything too drastic with this, but just put in a little bit darker colour and just kind of tap it and smudge it. So there we go. So this is more towards the top end of petal blue now, but again, I don't want to be too precise with this. You can see what I'm doing. I'm not making this exactly in the middle. I'm literally just putting a bit of extra colour down that's darker, and then flattening it off. Can't believe I did all this in the same colour, but never mind, it's fine. There we go. And then the same on the top. There we go on the top. Just squash that down. Squash it down like so. And the same on this one here. Okay, now while all this is drying for both, we're going to start on the green that's going to go around it. This is going to change it dramatically. So again, we'll just take all the blue out of the thing.
Was that the rose?
Yeah,
cake?
this is Sugar Flare Rose, it's called, which is a really nice colour. Blush pink is also a really nice colour, a Sugar Flare colour. Right, let's turn this around. So what we're going to do here, let's go on to the other camera actually for the minute. Let's go on to this one. We're going to mix up a green. Now we're going to go for 2 shades of green. So firstly we're going to use the spring green, which is the limey green colour. Now again, it's very, very limey green. So we're going to grab some white and tone that down a bit, otherwise it becomes too bright. So let's take it down a bit. There we go. Like so. This paint palette's very hot, just remember that, because it's got your heat underneath it, so be careful when you're moving things around. Don't end up burning yourself. So I'm going to stick with brush 2. Again, you can change if you want to, but I'm just going to stick with brush 2. I'll just move that across a little bit. I'm going to pull this down to the bottom of the camera a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting some little spots of green. So I'm not going to do leaves. I'm going to do spots of green going around this flower. Now this will be about 4 or 5 different layers. So the first layer always looks a bit odd. Bear with me. It will improve. And we're going to take it down a little bit further, like so. Hopefully you can see, and my hand's not in the way. No, it's fine. So I'm literally just putting spots onto a cake. So anyone who's saying I can't paint, la la la, it's not, it's just spots. That's all I'm doing. Okay, nothing else, nothing strange at the moment. Okay. They're commenting on what I say now. Are you looking at them? It's the reason I say that, there you go. Now why is that, Charlotte? Why would I say that?
Say what, sorry?
There you go.
I couldn't possibly.
Because my daughter, Charlotte Mann, is obsessed with My Greek Wedding.
It's a brilliant
And
set of films.
His catchphrase is "there you go," and I'm sure that's where it's come from, Charlotte.
It is. It's a brilliant set of films. We've watched it many times.
Many times, and I think this could be where it's come from actually. So
someone's just asked, you have the cocoa butter beginner painting kits, are
Yep.
they always available, or do you have to have the course to buy those?
They're always available. You don't have to buy into a course. What I will say to you is that I have just had a massive paintbrush delivery, thank goodness, from Ireland, which has been delayed about 3 weeks, and I've been waiting and it rocked up this afternoon, thank goodness. So there are kits available at the moment without delay, but we do have kits all year round. But again, it's just been a bit of an issue with Brexit and just getting everything over here, because everything's been stuck abroad. So we have had a few issues with the paintbrushes of all things. You wouldn't believe it, would you? I've gone from ordering sort of 30 at a time to 200 at a time to try and get them in, because they're just taking too long. Right, we carry on going around the side here now. So yeah, the beginners kits are available all year round, and you'll find them on the site, not the teaching site, Tracey Mann Cake School. You need to go to the other site, which is traceyscakes.co.uk. You'll find them on there. And then you'll find the paintbrushes it's easy for me to teach you then, you see, because I can tell you which brush number to pick up. That was the plan anyway. It works. 9 times out of 10 it works. But we've had difficulties getting in paintbrush 2 and 0. 0, 0 has been the 2 that we've been missing, but we've managed to get some back in now, so we're back up and running again. Thank goodness. Didn't predict that being a problem, but it did. Okay, so again, we're just going around all this. So not doing leaves, doing something else tonight instead. Okay, go to the next one. What have I got to here? Around we go. I'm just reading Maureen's comment.
Yeah.
Oh dear. They're stuck in customs. That's where they are. They're stuck there. They are here now though. They came this afternoon, thank goodness. Literally pounced on the delivery driver. Yes, the paintbrushes are here, because there's been lots of people waiting for kits, so the kits are now on their way out, which is great. Thank goodness. But yes, you don't have to have a course and a course kit. You can do whatever you want. Best thing is that we can just get you started doing something like this. You'll enjoy it, I'm sure of that. Loads of people love it, and it's just quite nice. You don't have to think about it too hard, especially when you do something like this where we've marked it all out for you. And now on Thursday last week I painted a red rose actually using a patchwork cutter stamp. So if you've missed that, either go back on Sugar and Crumbs and watch it, or you can go to my YouTube channel, which I've uploaded it to now, which is at Tracey Mann Cakes, and you'll find there's a sort of an hour video painting a red rose onto a cake as well. So if you fancy having a go at that, hop over there and have a look at that as well. So there's lots to do. The amount of content that's on this channel, I wouldn't think there's not a day of the week where we're not cake decorating. It's not a bad thing, is it?
Now, Mum, I have to tell you something. It's very important.
Oh, no.
There's someone very special who's watching the live this evening.
Is it my mum?
It's your mum.
Mummy! Is she watching?
She
come
messaged
up.
me saying, will you behave if I watch the live? Now, of course I behave, Granny.
My mum. I'm going to have to come on the screen and wave at her in a minute, aren't I? Oh. I bet she won't write a comment though.
No, she won't.
Oh,
She'll
Mum.
be hiding behind the scenes.
Yeah, my mum is shy and retiring, just like me. She is shy and retiring completely. She definitely wouldn't do that. So, but she sees more of me on Sugar and Crumbs than I do physically at the moment because of all the lockdowns. So, got my whole family on here. My aunt's on here sometimes as well. She's been watching. Auntie Trisha's been on here, Charlotte.
Oh, lovely.
I know. I'm not seeing them taking up cake painting yet though. Right, okay. So we're coming up to the last one and then we're going to do something else. Keep it moving. Have you told Granny you're here tonight?
I did.
You told her, did you?
Of course I did.
Okay. My dad watches me and I normally start juggling things and making mistakes and he finds that very funny. In fact, he rewinds it. I threw that cupcake bouquet at myself on screen live.
That was sometime last year,
My
wasn't
dad
it?
rewound it and
I
watched
know,
it
so did
many times. That's terrible. What's he like? Oh my, you see, look, they're all saying Tracy's mum now, you see.
Yeah.
Come on, mum. You have to write a comment. Right, there we go. Right, last one. And then we're done with the green. Well, the green so far anyway. It's like putting down the initial layer of everything. It takes a little bit of time, but the end result will be worth it. Take it from me. We're doing time-wise, 1 hour and 10. That's not too bad, is it? That's pretty good going.
It's amazing what you can achieve in 1 hour and 10.
Isn't it just, Charlotte? Okay, so round we go. So I'm not trying to make this too complicated tonight, just try and make it nice and simple. Simple but effective. I'm
The
sure
green does make it pop, Nikki was saying.
You wait, I haven't finished yet. You wait. Oh,
All right.
It's going to be magic.
She's built it up there, no pressure, no pressure.
You wait. Oh, I tell you, it's good.
I must say I have seen a sneak preview. It's going to look really good.
I have, because I did a little sneak preview earlier, didn't I, Charlotte?
Mm.
Okay, right, so we've done that bit now. What we're going to do is clean our brush. We'll get rid of the green. And then, actually, I need to get some more white out because I've managed to cover it in everything else. Put a bit more white in there. Go through more white than any other colour. Absolutely loads of it. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is mix up a little bit of white. So just dip it in the cocoa butter and make a paint. I know I'm off screen at the minute, but you've got the idea. My mum will be loving this. She will be laughing. She would go, "Oh, Tracy, no, you should have told them I was watching." I'll say it's Charlotte's fault. Right, so we're just going to go into the middle of the pink flowers with some white. So we're just going to paint the middle up white. So I'm just going to dab it in like so. Okay.
Granny sent you a comment.
Has she written up there? There she is. Susan Brown. Hello, mummy. Oh, she's funny. My mum is that amazing artist that some of you have seen, I'm sure, that she's a fantastic artist. All these pet portraits that she does, she's amazing.
That's where you get your love for
That's
painting.
where I get my love for painting from. And actually, while you're on, Mother, it's your fault. I got into cake decorating as well, and she knows that, because when I got to the age of 12 and I said, "Now, what birthday cake am I getting this year?" And she said, "You're not having a birthday cake, you're too old." I said, "You're joking." So I had to do it myself. And that's how it started, you see. So there you are. That's how I got into this, purely by accident. Right, so I'm just doing the ones on the top as well. There we go. Okay, right. So that's where we've got to at the moment. Now what we're going to do, we're going to clean our brush again. Lots of brush cleaning going on tonight. And actually what we'll do is we'll switch over to brush number 1. So we're going to go down a bit. We're going to make, we're going for a thinner brush. There we go.
Kelly says it looks really nice.
Oh, Kelly's on as well.
Because family reunion.
The whole family's on here tonight.
Shall I invite Dad?
No. Oh dear. All I need is my aunt and we're there, aren't we? Got a full house. Right. Okay, let's bring that on. There you go, Mum. You see, I'm not the only one who says you paint beautifully. Right, so we're going to dip that into cocoa butter, pick up some red, and we're just going to mix that over here. I know it's off camera a little bit, but actually I'll tell you what, we'll go onto the other camera again for a second. There we go. Let's just move that over here. Right, so we're just going to take some red and mix that up. I've made it a bit too watery actually, so I've added in some more. There we go. Right, so what I'm going to do, this is a thinner brush, so I've got it right down to the point there, and I'm going to do some patterns on the pink. Hopefully you can see it. If not, you'll see it on the side. If my hand gets in the way, I'll try and make my brushes out the way as I possibly can. Okay. So if my hand's in the way, I will hopefully be able to show you on the next one. It's not too bad. Okay, occasionally breathing. And
I think actually doing the impressions at the start gives the flowers a really nice outline. It looks really nice and detailed.
Is this you?
No, this is me.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
it's nice. I'm getting a bird's eye view and a side view, so...
Right, there you go. Okay, so that's that. Let's move this round here. Where are we on this side yet? Hopefully you'll see the side ones a bit better in a second. I don't know if these are any particular variety of flower other than ones I literally made up, so you can do your own colour scheme on this, can't you? Okay, so that's that. Right, let's go over to, I need to press the wrong camera then. Right, let's do the side of this. I'm just wondering actually what I might do is just drop this down a tiny bit. We're going on a little ride here, everybody. Right, there we go. Bring it in a little bit. So it's trying to find the right angle for you, but also so I can actually see what I'm doing. There we go.
Now, lots of people are using this as the inspiration for their Mother's Day cakes, and the decision is, did they do the one from last week
Well,
or this week's?
I know, decisions. See, I'm trying to give you lots of options, and I didn't actually label this one up as a Mother's Day cake, but however,
This is a good all occasions cake.
this is an all occasions cake, Charlotte. There you go. Decisions. My mum will be putting her request in a minute.
Yeah. I agree with June. June's saying that the small details really bring it to life. I totally agree.
Yeah. Callie's normally off her chair by the end of it, Charlotte.
Well, I must say, I'm getting quite into it.
She's normally leaping about.
I'm on crowd control here at Sugar and Crumbs, making sure that we don't get too excited.
Not yet. We haven't finished yet. No, we're not there yet. A little bit more to go yet.
Someone said, are you copying the flowers on the tablecloth?
No, well, they're similar actually.
Quite similar, yeah, I didn't even notice.
The answer to that is not deliberately. No, but there we go. They're coming out okay. If it has happened, it's happened without my thinking. But actually, now I've just looked down. Yeah, they are. Maybe I'm subliminally taking in my tablecloth during the day. I'm spending too much time sat at my desk. I've started painting my tablecloth. Nothing would surprise me. Right, this is the last one. On the pink flowers anyway for the moment. I'm trying to come in this way, sort of backwards for me. I'm doing it backwards. Right, okay, so that's those. Let's leave those to dry. And we're going to clean our brush again.
Someone said that when you're painting, you lean on the other hand. Does that help keep you steady while you're painting?
Yeah, you don't want to have your hand just waving around in the air. You do need to put your elbow down at least to stop it sort of jigging around. So yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't lean on your sugar paste, obviously, because you'll end up denting it. So you've got to be a little bit careful there. But yeah. Right, next bit. So we're going to go back to the white.
Now, I know someone's made a very good point here, and I know you're going to know who this is when I say it.
Oh no.
Is this another Bridgerton cake?
That's Dinaz, isn't it? I don't even need to look. Well, she is my judge on the Bridgerton cake. So yes, it probably is. I'd say yes. So I'm going to just take the white now because the blue is dried, and I'm just going to just dab a little bit of white into the centre of these flowers. So I'm going to do it a bit more accurately than just blobbing it. Maybe a little bit more. I said blob those top bits. Okay.
So with the paintbrush delivery, is that all paintbrushes now back in stock from 00?
Yep, everything. Anybody who's been waiting for one of my 00 brushes, they've all been sent out now, every single one. So anybody who'd ordered a cocoa butter kit or anything, they are now on their way out, or will be if anybody's is outstanding tomorrow. So yeah, we have had a bit of a delay, but we're all back and running again now. Thank goodness, I'll tell you. Thank goodness. I've got cocoa butter on there. Okay, so we're just putting a little white dot into the centre of these blue flowers.
Kelly says the red makes it really pop.
What, my Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh, she little madam.
She's good on the colours.
She is good on colours. She's brilliant on colours. Right, okay, so we are now going to change colour again. And we are going to do, I'm just checking what we're doing next. Right, we're going to use the darker green colour now. So we're going to, let's bring that in a little bit. We're going to grab some of the moss green colour. Now this is very strong. We won't want it as strong as this. I'll tell you what, we'll go on the other camera again. I have to keep moving my cake every 5 minutes. Hold on. Right, let's go back over here again. Okay, so we're going to mix up some moss green, but we're going to have to put some white in it because it's just too strong. We won't want it as strong as that, but what we want is a contrasting colour to this green that we've got here next to that. Okay, and then what we're going to do, this will start to change it. Let's make sure my hand's not in the way again. Alright, and then we'll start by adding in another green amongst the green that's already here.
Oh yes, so now I missed that question, apologies. Now somebody said, what are the kind of core basic colours you need for your cake painting?
Right, core basic colours, black and white, primary colours, red, yellow, blue, 2 shades of green, minimum, pink, and what else we got? Cream and egg yellow we've got in the kit. Maybe a violet colour if you want that sort of thing. Can't go wrong really with a bit of, with having many shades of green. You need black, although I'm not using black on this cake tonight, but you do need black. And that's it really. And they last ages, so you know it does take quite a while to go through things. How's that coming out? Yeah, brown, thank you Maureen. Yeah, brown's another one. Trying to think what I'd got in the kit, because what I set up in that kit was what we use on that course. Let's take that out there a little bit. Okay, this has got more to go yet on this, so we are getting there, but there will be more to go. Right round we go. Let's go over to this side. So when I'm doing this, I don't want to cover what I've done. I want to go amongst what I've done, as you can see. I've got to do a colour, Charlotte, I've just realised.
Oh no, what have you forgotten?
Oh no, it's on the centre of the flowers. I'll go back and do that in a minute. It's fine. I just need to do that next. So you can take the dark out a little bit further. Try not to keep it as a solid shape. Just try and, you know, so it's not too distinct a pattern. Yeah, Bridgerton, here we go again. I need to be doing all the cakes on that set, I think.
Someone said if you've only got one green, can you use white to...
You can, but honestly, for the sake of a couple of pound, I would invest in more than one green, because the greens, I've got about 5 different shades of green, and they are well worth having because they do make a lot of difference. So I'd say of all the colours you need to get many of, or a few shades of, it is green.
And how long do the dusting colours normally last you when you're painting?
Depends what you're painting. I mean, if you're painting sort of landscapes and large areas, then not very long. But if you're doing something like this, I mean, they'll last absolutely ages. So it just largely depends on what you're doing. Okay, there we go. Right, let's go to the side. Oh, let's press the camera. Hold on, there we go. Right, so yeah, I mean, it's like anything. How much sugar paste and how long does sugar paste last? Well, you know, if your cake's a tiny cake, it's going to last ages, isn't it? So your cocoa butter painting is going to be the same. I mean, I've hardly used anything to do this. I will literally, my tubes that I've got in here, and bear in mind I'm painting literally every day, go on and on and on. So the only one I replace on quite a regular basis is white. And that one I do replace quite a bit. I'm just going to bring that down a little bit. White and black. I need to put it in the wrong colour then.
Somebody called Sally is saying that her husband's sitting near her this evening and he's watching the snooker, but he keeps looking over at you doing this cake, so I think he's a bit invested.
He's been spotted.
I think once you start, you can't stop looking.
No, that's it. It's addictive, isn't it? It's watching it change. You know, when you watch anything like this, it's watching it, you know, become something else. When you start out and you look at what we did at the start and you think, oh no, what's she doing? But then suddenly, we're not there yet either. Suddenly it takes on this transformation. You think, I get it. Charlotte knows where this is going because she's seen the original one, which is next to me.
Looks good.
So, but it's just dots, okay? 2 different shades. That limey green colour is actually a really good colour for this. And I think the person who asked the question about the greens before, if you can't get this limey green colour out of, say, moss green, it doesn't work. You can shade it up and down, but to get that sort of bright green colour underneath, you do need to get the odd colour here and there that works with this. Okay. I wonder how many people are going to have a go at this.
Well, we want to see all your versions of it.
Yeah. We're going to want to see what colours you're going to come up with. Well, I'm just mixing up a little bit more, so I'm running a bit short. There we go. So, yeah. I'll have to wait and see. This would work on cupcakes as well. So if anybody wants to does cupcakes at the moment, you know, maybe you don't want a big cake. This cutter is quite small, so there's no reason why you couldn't just do it on a cupcake.
Well, we've had quite a few replies saying me as who's going to do this cake.
Oh, good, good, good. Oh, yeah, look at that. And I know these names as well, so I'm going to be checking. They're on the Royal Icing call, some of them. I shall check, you know. It's the ones that come to me and say, oh, I haven't started the course yet, for whatever reason, but I'm going to have a go this weekend. I go, great. I look forward to seeing what you're doing. And they're like, oh, no. I've just told her. So, yeah.
Well, they get so invested in it, they come back. I've done 6 projects.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's one lady on the Royal Icing course who's turning into a cookie factory. I mean, she's doing so many cookies. It's fantastic. She's just loving it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, loads. Loads and loads of them, and they're so pretty. There we go. Right, so we've got a few more to go. We're nearly there. I would imagine cake painting's more interesting than watching snooker anyway, Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. Barbara's going to send you a picture when she's done it.
Good, that's what I want. Yeah, you can always post them on my Facebook page. There's a couple of Facebook pages. There's another one called Tracey Mann Cake Demonstrations. You can always put it on there as well. Or you can put it on the Sugar and Crumbs cake community page and just tag me in it, and then I get to see it. See what you've been up to. Or you can just email it to me, I don't mind. See how you've done. Okay, right, we've got 2 more. We're getting there on this side. Then I've got to remember to do those middles, Charlotte.
Yes, don't forget.
I'm telling you to remind me because I will forget. I'll get to the end and I'll be annoyed. I've already forgot to do the 2 colours, but never mind. It doesn't matter. Actually, I'll prefer it like this, I think, in the end. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. There we go. Come back across this side a little bit. I'm sure you've got the best view ever. I'm sat at a very strange angle.
Well, I'm watching it in real time there, and then 10 seconds behind, so I'm getting a...
You're getting a double whammy on your show.
I'm quite enjoying it. It's quite good.
Quite good.
No, I mean, isn't it? It's quite good. Get the 2 different angles.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'll let you off then. Quite good. This is why I have to tell everyone I've made your birthday cake and Kelly's birthday cake since they were born. And there's an entire album on my Facebook page somewhere of every single one of them with their cakes from the word dot, isn't it?
There
Watching
is
you growing up. Ooh, get my tissues out every time I look at it. They're still demanding birthday cakes out of me at 24.
Absolutely.
I don't mind. Unlike my mother, who stopped at 12.
But she inspired you. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's it. It's all right, Mum. I forgive you. Right. Okay, so two more to go. Okay. Just have to move a bit. This is where you'll be glad you did the piping at the start, you see, because it's done. Although I'm going to pipe around the bottom at the end, just to tie it all in. With whipping it up, you don't have to make up the entire bag. You can always halve it, quarter it, and just lower the amount of water that you put in. So, you know, you don't have to make up all the royal icing in the bag. You can use a bit of the royal icing. It's like anything, isn't it? You don't have to do too much. Okay.
Apparently they're struggling to tag you in the cake community.
Are they? Oh. Oh, they're not trying to tag me as Kelly, are they?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I normally see most bits and pieces anyway, so...
Now, no pressure, Mum.
Oh, no. Well, every time you've said no pressure, I
feel a lot more pressure.
I'm feeling pressure. What now?
So Sue Bennett has said she still makes her children's birthday cakes at 39 and 41, so I'm just saying, you've got a few more cakes to go yet.
Oh, dear. Actually, it is lovely. I don't mind.
You love it.
I do love it. Yeah, I do.
44 cakes in total you've done so far.
I have. I've done every single birthday cake for you and Kelly. And I've taken your pictures with them. They're so funny. I know. And every year I think, oh, shall I do it? And it's like, oh, I don't think I couldn't not do it now.
I'd be very upset if you
Exactly.
didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Last one on this side. Wouldn't be the same, would it? There we go. Right. Okay.
Someone said, what do you do with the leftover cocoa butter and dusting colours?
You don't need to put as much dusting colour in as I have. I tend to just tip my containers and then realise I put too much in, so maybe don't put in as much. You can just let the thing go cold and put some cling film over it, and then you can just reheat it and carry on. So actually you don't really need to do too much about it. The cocoa butter is pence. It literally is, you get a lot of cocoa butter in a bag and it goes an awful long way. So your waste is going to be so minimal if you do clean it all up that I really wouldn't worry about it. Just your dusting colours really, just be careful how much you put down. And that should be fine. So don't forget, all the lessons that I teach for cake painting are online. So they're on my new cake school, traceymanncakeschool.co.uk. Facebook Lives. They're all pre-recorded, some of them, so you can go back and watch them again and again. There are also communities around them. So there are Facebook groups around most of the courses, not all the courses, but most of them. So if you get stuck, you can talk to other people and I'll jump in and help as well. So if you need any help, I'll get you through them. There we go. Okay, right, so we've got that far. That's where we are at the moment. Okay, right, now I'm going to go with back to the lime green. I'm not going to bother to clean my brush actually. I'm just going to pick up some of the brushes and then I'm going to just put some dots in the middle.
That's how you're doing the centre.
I'm doing the centre, Charlotte.
Good.
in the middle of that flower. So we're changing, it was white, we're now going to change it to, we're just going to dot some lime green in there. We can still see the white. I'm just going to dot that in there like that. Okay, like so. Oh, a bit too much there. Cover the whole thing. Right, now back up onto the top. So just a few little dots up there. We're going to let that dry again then. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pipe round the base and put my ribbon on. I haven't finished, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I need this to completely dry. But rather than us just sit there looking at it, we're going to leave it for a second, and I'm just going to get my piping bag back again, and we're just going to pipe around the base just to match the top. So we'll just do something nice and straightforward, probably involving silver balls, I suspect, but we'll just pipe a sort of beaded pattern going around the base. That gives then the paint an opportunity to dry before we go back in again. So you can see with cocoa butter painting, you could just paint it and go, there you go, it's job done, one layer. But actually, if you spend a bit of time on it doing 2, 3, 4 layers, you get a much better effect, a more 3D effect, something different to look at, and something more interesting. So actually, if you just paint one layer, it doesn't actually look that interesting. It looks much better if you can go back in and do a few bits and pieces. So what we're doing is we're waiting for it to dry, so we're going to go back to it in a second. And while we're doing that, we're just piping with some, whipping it up, royal icing, just going around the base. So this will match the top there. I mean, I am having to resist putting the silver balls on. Not sure it needs silver balls tonight, but maybe I do need to put some on. It's just not the same, is it, if I don't?
Was that the lime green in the middle of the flowers?
I used, yeah, I finished with the darker green colour, and I didn't bother to clean my brush. I just put my brush straight into the lime green and then just put that on, yeah. But I haven't quite finished with those yet either, so there's a bit more to do there. I'm just going around the edge here at the moment with a... Does it need silver balls, Charlotte? You can see from here. I don't think it does. You're looking at me like it does.
You're telling me that it does not need silver balls?
It needs silver balls. Okay, all right. I'm getting the impression. Okay, we will do this. Just
no pressure.
No pressure, but there has to be some silver balls on here somewhere. Okay, all right. Well, we'll put them around the base. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right. And then we haven't got too many going on. Oh gosh, they're running away from me. This is where people say, where are my tweezers? If I had them, I would lose them. This is the thing. So I'm better off just, okay, that is actually fine. Of course it is. Look, it's compulsory, everybody. Silver balls going on now. We'll spread them out so we don't have too many. They seem to end up on every cake at the moment. Whoops, that one's run away from me. Yeah, I think it looks lovely without silver balls too, but having said that, I don't know whether I prefer it with or without.
Well, just keep piping round and then you can let the audience decide.
Yeah, I think maybe not, but we'll keep going. Yeah, I'm going to leave you to decide. Vote now. Silver balls or no silver balls? I'll do half with and half without. It might be that the silver balls are redundant this time.
It just means you have to do an extra sparkly cake next week.
I know, next week's would have to be a serious load of bling, wouldn't it? Just to make up for it. Yeah, I think it's without too. Oh no! Right, off you come. I think it looks better without them. Don't need them this time. I mean, it's gutting because obviously silver balls.
Even Granny's just commented saying, oh, no silver balls this time round then.
Thank you, Mummy. Is that a comment that like, yeah, it doesn't need the silver balls. I think it doesn't need it this time. You can just tell almost immediately. There you go, much better. Right, let's move those out of the way. You are out this week, naughty. Okay, we're just going to repair a couple of these bits that got squashed by the silver balls.
Jackie says, I hate to say it, but it does look better.
I know, it's a much more sort of softer cake this week. I don't think it needs the level of bling that I normally apply to all of my cakes this week. So yeah, I actually think it doesn't need them.
But that does mean next week.
It just means extra bling next week.
Extra bling.
Okay, all right. We'll have to go for it next week. I've got a silver balloon topper. Maybe I'll have to use that with the silver balls somewhere along the line. Or I could go wild and get some different coloured ones, Charlotte.
Gold stars, gold balls.
Yeah, you don't need silver balls. I think it's much better without this time. It's fine. The silver balls that just make it look a bit, it doesn't need it. It's more of a sort of a cottagey type one, this cake, I think. Okay. Yes, I think it's almost a bit distracting on this one, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, look at it. They're all going without. I agree. I have already, that's why I asked, you see, because I reckon it should be without. There you go. They're easy enough to take off. Get that scriber out, whip them off quick before they set. Right, okay. So all the time we're doing this, hopefully all of the green is drying, because I need to paint over that in a second. I can't do that if it's still wet, so this is the plan. And actually then the white picks up the white from the top, so it does actually look really okay on that. I need to do my ribbon as well. I did find my Pritt stick, but it did look a rather sad Pritt stick, so but we're still on the PVA glue this week. I don't think the lid had been put back on properly, Charlotte.
Oh dear.
I know, it didn't look particularly well. So we'll go for the other glue. Okay, we're nearly there. We can see the end now. Yeah, might just have to go and check that I've not squashed any from the silver ball incident. So the moral of this story is not silver balls on all cakes, everybody. Oh dear. Right. Okay. Right, okay, so that's joined that back up. Let me just hook out a couple of damaged ones that need repiping. Let's just do that, just two again. Only because I can see them and they're going to really annoy me. Okay, that's fine. Yep, okay, happy with that. Right, now we are going to go into the dark green again this time. So we're going with brush number 1. I'll find the right brush. Here we go, brush number 1. And we're going to take...
Someone said, yeah, you could use ribbon on it if you wanted to.
You could use ribbon. So we're going to use some of the dark green now, just in the centre of these flowers, just over the green. Okay, so we've got white and the 2 shades of green in the middle. Like so.
Bernadette's asked, if you make a mistake with your painting, what's the best way to correct it?
Stick a flower on it.
Stick a flower on it.
It depends what the damage is. If you put paint in the wrong place, you're going to struggle. If you put paint down and it's the wrong colour, then you let it dry and then you paint white over the top of it and then let that dry and then do it again. All right. The only thing I would say is that, you know, You can repair most colours, but if you're trying to get from a black to a white or white to black, you're going to struggle. But you can go back a little bit, yeah. But if you put it in the wrong place, then yeah, you've got a bit more of a problem. Right, okay, now we're going to, what brush am I on? One. We're going to change, we're going to clean this brush up again. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go for the white. We're going to get the old Gypsophilia going. I think somebody mentioned it earlier. We're going to put that on now. So I've got to make sure I get all the green out, otherwise I'm going to have a disaster on my hands.
Someone's asked you what was the first cake you ever did.
Oh my God, do you know, I actually know.
Go on then.
The very first cake I ever did was for my nan.
Oh.
It wasn't my nanny, not mum's mum, and it was a house, and it had shredded wheat roof.
Right.
Right. Buttercream up the sides. I've got a picture of it somewhere. That was one of the first cakes I ever did.
And how old were you when you made that?
God, I don't know. I was doing run-outs when I was about 12, so that was, because I had the old Mary Ford books, but I'm just trying to think. I've definitely got pictures. 1987 was that, or was it before that? It might have been in before that, actually. It must be before that. I'll have to find the picture. I'm sure it was a project in like Women's Weekly or something, you know, one of those. Right, okay, so we've got white being mixed here now. You can see it just at the back of the screen there. So just pure white on its own, going to make it quite thick. Paintbrush number 1. And we're going to go over this now. So we've got to make sure this is dry. If this isn't dry, it doesn't work, okay? Because then what it happens is basically the white gets dyed by the colour underneath. So you have to make sure this is dry, which is why I've been doing other things, waiting for it to dry. And we can start to go over this. And this looks like then Gypsophilia, which is, I love it. It's not for everybody, but I'm keen on it. And this softens it all up. And you can actually sort of trail this off down the cake a little bit. Hopefully you can see it on camera, as you can.
Now Nikki did mention adding white dots earlier, and I didn't want to give the game away.
We knew.
And I was like, she sussed it out.
All I'm saying to Nikki is, you see, that's the training she's had.
Yeah. She knew what was coming.
I'm not that predictable, but yeah, she knows where I go with these things, you see. Then that's what I'm saying to you. Have a few lessons in cake painting, everybody, and you're going to be able to do your own thing. You'll be able to see what you can do. You won't need me because you already know what you're doing, you see. Hopefully that's coming up now. You'll probably get a better view when it goes onto the side. I don't know, the view's not too bad. You must make sure this is dry because it doesn't work otherwise. A bit more cocoa butter, it's getting a bit thick. So again, you can vary your brush size. You know, you can use a brush, this is brush 1, you can use brush 2 if you find that's a bit easier. I just think try and keep it as light as you can. And then extend it out beyond the green a little bit, towards the wording even, like so. That's only when I'm now looking at it over the top that I want to do certain other things. There we go. Okay, right, let's do this one on this side. So the brush is vertical, so it's the top of the brush is facing the ceiling. So that will hopefully give you better dots than if you've got it on the side where you're more likely to get something a bit thicker. So my brush is straight up in the air. So bear that in mind as well. Hopefully that will help some of you. So cocoa butter painting or painting of any description is very relaxing. If you're finding it very stressful, have a go at cake painting because you can get quite lost in this.
That's nice if you want to do, if you're not sure, start with a smaller project.
Even Charlotte, my beloved Charlotte, has been doing painting by numbers, haven't you, Charlotte?
I have.
And you love it.
I have.
There you go, you see.
And if anyone's interested, I actually did the tea and biscuits course when I was 16.
You did.
So.
And I didn't force you either.
No, I must say I'm very well versed in that course.
Yeah, you came and did that course. So yes, there is the tea and biscuit course. Do have a look at that on the Cake School, tracymanncakeschool.co.uk. The tea and biscuit one is a really lovely Mother's Day project. And all the moulds and everything to go with it. I've got them all in now, so they've just arrived. I've only got a limited number. I've ordered some more today, but again, they take about 3 weeks to come in. They're another one that takes ages. Don't write yourself off and say, I can't paint. Have a go. Seriously, have a go. Get a paintbrush, get a bag of cocoa butter. If you've got dusting colours, you're already halfway there. And if you don't want to get involved in buying chrome food warmers and metal paint palettes, just find yourself a bowl of water, boil it in the kettle, and put a plate over the top, you know, like a china plate of some description, which gets hot, and just use that, and then have a go. See what you can do. You'd be surprised. Especially, all I've done is use cutters that are very common. I've not used anything sort of difficult to get hold of or specific. This is FMM, which is a, you know, big company. You should be able to get this cutter, no problem. Or you can use any of the PME ones, or any flower cutters you've got really. Go and have a look in your box. If you do sugar flowers, I bet you've got loads of this, different shapes that you could use. And then you can just mimic this, can't you? Like that. Is it coming up all right on screen, Charlotte?
Looks lovely.
Oh, good, because I can't really see what I'm doing. So they're getting the view, I'm not. See, when you get all your recorded lessons, this is the sort of thing you're going to be able to see. It's nice and up close. It's much easier than, and you can rewind and stop it. You can go back, so you don't have to keep going. You can stop, come back, do it again. There we go. And just use it in your own time. Paint on sugar paste boards. You don't have to paint on a cake every time as well. So if you fancy just having a go and you know, especially the beginners, we get the beginners to ice 4 cake boards, all the same size, all 6-inch cake boards with some sugar paste. Let them dry, and then you've got your what you're going to paint onto. You can't practice on paper, I'm afraid, with this, because cocoa butter will just absorb into paper. It doesn't work. So you will need to be painting on sugar paste, but you know, a packet of sugar paste isn't too expensive. You can dye it a colour if you want to. I paint a lot on pastel colours because I think it then makes the white stand out more, and that's the reason why I do it. I don't do it for anything else. I don't paint on a lot of white unless it's for a specific reason, like a snow scene or something like that, then I will. Generally, if you look closely at most of my cakes, certainly on my cake courses, most of them are on pastel colour backgrounds.
Someone has asked, are the colours of the dusting colours gluten free?
Ooh, I don't know.
I'd have a look at the packet.
Well, they've got wheat in them, I don't think. There's one next. You'd need to actually go and get one of the packages, won't you?
I'll have a look.
We'll have a look.
There's one over there.
Not. Oh, don't you fall over that light, because I'll laugh. She's got to climb over my lights. Oh, don't fall over, because I'll laugh. I don't know. See, I don't think it's...
I don't think it does. I think they are gluten free, because it's only really saying that it's got it's food colouring predominantly.
We'd have to check. I wouldn't want to say it is. Oh, hold on. My mum's gluten free.
I think great.
She's still alive, and I've painted stuff she's eaten, so she's still alive, bless her. So I'm sure it's probably fine, but you would need to get a conclusive answer from the company, Sugar Flower, I think, just to double check. She's got to be careful. She don't want to end up.
Oh yeah. You can email Sugar Flower and ask them.
Yeah, you need to be sure. Can't mess about with anything like that. No. Right, round we go. Okay. Is this one going down well, Charlotte?
This cake?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, not sure.
No,
Better without the
no.
silver balls.
No, it's lovely.
No silver balls this week. I feel like I've cut my arm off.
Very elegant.
Good.
And it's nice to hear what people are planning on doing.
Good. I'm looking forward to
who just said they might doing cupcake toppers. Who was that? Mandy.
Cupcake toppers. It's a good one for cupcake toppers, this one. Because again, you can imagine you don't have to do a lot. Actually, on YouTube as well, my YouTube channel, I've done several painted cupcake toppers, which I've done on Sugar and Crumbs. If you want to go back on Sugar and Crumbs and just put a search in for my name, you'll find them, or go onto YouTube, Tracey Mann Cakes, and you'll find them on there. And that will show you what I've done with painting cupcake toppers. I've done a few. So once this is done tonight, this will be heading its way back to the hospital again. So it'll be going off to Stoke Mandeville. We've been providing cakes for them for weeks now. So we've A&E, minor injuries, paediatrics. They've been getting all the cakes. Last week we sent 2 over. They had the royal iced one, and what we did last week, the mum cake, didn't they? They had that as well. So we're keeping them going, so they don't get wasted. They do go somewhere else. Isn't that right, Charlotte?
Absolutely.
Everyone's obsessed with the balls. Oh dear. Oh, no silver balls. It doesn't need silver balls this week. Have to resist. I don't think it needs it anyway. You could join them all up. You could, create all the garlands together, but I think it would be a lot more work, and I'd probably be here another hour or so. Although even Nikki said the other week, I think it was Nikki, said it doesn't matter if you're here till midnight. I think Charlotte might have something to say about that. And likewise, so might I. So it probably won't be till midnight. But we're getting there. We've got one more to do after this, so we're nearly there. It's okay when you can see the end in sight on the other side. But yeah, take it out beyond the green. Extend it out a little bit further. So if you have any questions about online learning with me, so cake painting or royal icing, then do please get in touch, either via my website, traceyscakes.co.uk, or via the teaching school, Tracey Mann Cake School. So you're very welcome to join me and many others on lots of cake painting. You're unsure, beginners, I get you going. If you don't want to spend that sort of money, which a beginner's course is £35. If you don't want to spend that, there are little projects on there for £5. There's also the tea and biscuits classes on offer as well at £10 as well. But you will need the moulds for that, don't forget. So you'll end up probably spending a little bit more, because you'll need the moulds to do that one. But it is a really nice one. A set of 4 cupcakes in a box for a birthday or Mother's Day. It's just quite a nice thing to drop round someone's house. You're not out your seat yet. Kelly's normally out of her seat by now, Charlotte.
Well, I'm waiting to see what's coming next.
Oh, okay. We're nearly there.
Finishing touches.
Finishing touches, that's what we're on now. Okay. I've just got to make this white paint a bit thicker, it's getting a bit thin. Don't forget to like and share as well tonight. I keep forgetting that. Yes, don't forget to like and share. And then lots of people get to see all the amazing lessons, courses, freebies, demos on Sugar and Crumbs. Right, lump of cocoa butter there, not helping me. Okay, I'm at the front now, and I've now started to make a mistake, so let's pull that off. There we go, that's better. I was thinking, where am I? I've just arrived at the front of the cake, so I've got to do this properly now, because this is the bit I'm going to look at, isn't it? So once I've finished, I will take a photograph of this and I will put it on the page so you can see it, and on my Instagram as well, which is at Tracey Mann Cakes. It's very amazingly similar to my YouTube name and my Facebook page as well, but you will be able to see it on there as well. Sometimes it's quite difficult to see on camera, so you will get to see that as well. Okay, if you've never painted before, this is your moment. Grab your paintbrushes, get yourself some cocoa butter, and off you go. You'll love it. Right, I'm just going to extend this up here a little bit. As we're down the front now, I just want to make sure I've got this looking right. So just take the white a little bit higher. Right, okay, let's leave that for a second, and I'm just going to put some ribbon on. This is the bit we can't find the scissors, Charlotte. I've managed to...
We did have the scissors.
No, I've spotted them. I've just spotted them. They're not hidden. They're normally hidden under everything under the sun. Right, I am going... Right, the 00 brush is back in stock. I will change the stock count when I go back after this live because it only came in this afternoon. But we do now have it. So I will have to change the stock count. So bear with me and I will sort that out for you. We had a very late afternoon delivery and I was leaping about with joy because this had finally turned up, and then I forgot to change the stock counts on the website. Oh dear. Right, okay, so we'll start at the back. Don't forget to put your ribbon on the back, not on the front, the join rather. Round we go until we get to the back, and then we're going to just cut. I've got glue on my finger, so I'm trying not to get it everywhere. Okay, there we go. Right, obviously I'm in search of parental approval here, Mother, so I'm expecting a comment now. She's probably not watching now. Right, let's just press that all the way down, like so, and there we go. That is our cake for this evening. I will just turn that round so you can see it. I'll put it on the other camera as well, so you can do that. Okay, I'll turn it all round. Okay, what do you think?
Lovely.
Lovely. There you go. All right, now what I'll do is I'll put it on the other camera so you can see the top. Let me just move this cocoa butter out of the way. The ribbon is 15mm. Okay, right, let's go on to the other camera so you can see it on here. Just move it over there. There we go, so that's the top half as well. You've been relegated this week, Silver Ball, so I'm putting them over there out of the way. We don't want to see those. There we go.
We have approval.
We have approval.
From your mother.
From my mother? Has she made a comment?
Yes.
Oh.
And everyone, actually.
Oh, good. There you go. I'll leave the topper on there for a minute so you can just have a little look at it. So what we've done tonight is basically use very, very basic cutters. We've used several different colours of dusting colour, cocoa butter, a couple of paint brushes, and we've been able to create quite nice sort of clusters of flowers on this cake. You can extend it round further if you want to, so you can do more flowers going round here, but obviously I'm on a bit of a time constraint with this, so I'm trying not to do, you know, keep you here forever. However, that is what I've done this evening. So it's all cake painting, and as I say, you will find more information. I'm just going to put my cake school address coming up there now. So it's traceymanncakeschool.co.uk. So that's my brand new website that went live last week. So this is a site purely with all the cake classes on it, connected with cake painting and royal icing. So do please pop over there and have a look. Any questions about it, then do feel free to email me. I'll be more than happy to help you and show you and point you in the right direction. Right, pick it up now and I will come on screen now. Right, ooh, there we go. Da, da, da. That's it. See, it's only a little cake. You don't need to make huge cakes every time. This is quite a nice, sweet little cake. So it's a 6-inch round by 3 inches in height. So it's not a massive cake anyway. You taking photos of me, Charlotte?
No.
I can see you up the corner of my eye.
Nice.
Okay, go on then. Take a picture. just to keep, that will go on Instagram, but my Hugh Grant's not with me tonight, he's normally standing behind me. So there we go. I will be on Saturday as well. I'll also be here at what time on Thursdays? 11:30 on Thursday morning, and I will be live on Saturday morning. So there we go. Put that down. I'm going to put it down now because I'll probably end up dropping it just to amuse my dad. Right, okay, so thank you very much for joining me this evening on Sugar and Crumbs. I will be back on Thursday morning at 11:30, where I will be doing something else. Not too sure yet, but I'm sure it'll be very exciting. And then I'll be back again on Sugar and Crumbs at 6:30 next Tuesday. So have a lovely evening. Thank you very much for all your lovely comments. Don't forget, if you need any further information, the website address is up at the moment. Go over there, have a little look. There's some amazing projects and bits and pieces on there to have a look at. You can say bye-bye, Charlotte.
Bye, everyone.
Right, we'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.